They still have beat. Okay. So the hammer was delaying and the Ash gets Bob mid-fight. So they use Bob. Ash dies. They still have beat. And they're coming out on another Nano. So beat was used. Another Pulse Bomb generated. Nano was used. And they have Shatter again. Yeah. So this is why I feel like being a more aggressive Ryan is generally better. Like I feel more comfortable being the aggressive Ryan because the aggressive Ryan, even though sometimes he feeds, he does so much damage that he gets Shatter more often than the passive Ryan. So in this case, even the ball almost gets mines here. So the number of outs they generate just from fighting, like the damage that they do, the amount of healing that Anna does, and the amount of damage done by their tracer is just so much that their out generation is way beyond what we can do. Okay, so we'll be reviewing this VOD of King's Row. We are on defense, right? Okay. It's a little bit laggy, I guess. Oh, because I'm on desktop. Let's go to game. Okay, so first up we're running. Maybe I can just put it a little bit closer so I don't have to be use my voice too much. So first up we're running. Yeah, it's kind of death balling. So in this case, Silence went for a Zen, and we have a main heal in Rockers Anna. And so we're taking high ground as Soldier. Anna's taking position here. So sometimes as Anna, I would can consider taking high ground along with Soldier. So you can take high ground here and you have easy access to heals. Keeps Anna a little bit safer. Of course, this position at the back of the booth here is not too bad as well. But in the event of any ground-based team that's charging forward, the Anna can just dive into here, but still a death trap, so you're still able to get her. But if you're high ground, any ground-based death volley team, can't get to the Anna easily, so the Anna is slightly safer on the high ground there. So Mei is gonna play on low ground. Zen, technically, yeah, it's okay on the low ground, I guess. Okay. So we're taking position on point here, which is fine, because trying to hide here, it seems a little bit too obvious. And when the enemy can just run in and engage you guys here. I'm suffering from a lot of FPS drops. Yeah. Might have to run this on full screen. Let me try this. Blind? Do I still get FPS drops? Kind of. Yeah, that's just a lot of lag. Okay. So maybe I wanna like stop one. Okay, probably want to stop the stream. Oh, continue the recording. Is it better? Okay. Yep, looks like my CPU can handle this better. Okay. Yep. So there's less CPU load. My recording is still running. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so they're running Widow. For a team that runs Widow, generally what I feel is like the team wants to hug this hotel, wants to hug hotel lobby, so they can get out of the Widow sidelines. A Soldier taking a 1v1 with a Widow, it's kind of risky, but doable. But just that the Widow has a better advantage in terms of sight. because at long range, a Widow can dink a headshot and then finish up with a body shot to kill off a soldier, whereby the soldier has to land quite a few hits on the Widow before he can kill her. So generally, if I were the soldier here, I would probably just take this high ground and try to like avoid the 1v1 with the Widow. And the rest of the team can hug this hotel and wait for the enemy to engage. So yes, we're giving up a lot of space, but that's kind of a necessary evil, I guess, because rather than getting picked by the Widow and giving them a one-man advantage, I would rather they let them engage on the point, and as a death volley team, I want to initiate the fight because, yeah. And since we don't have a Lucio, I think it's fine as well. We can just walk in and engage them. So we have to engage them around corners here, because you want the Widow to get as little value as possible. So if the Widow can't hit anything, they can't get value. Same thing I mentioned like for Doomfist. Doomfist has to get a exact direct line of sight due to his power of his right click. So if you're hiding in the corner, he has to jump or seismic slam beyond the corner before he can start using his right click. His right click, I guess. So that forces the Doomfist to use a little bit more cooldowns there. Okay. Yep, so this is where you peek this line of sight, the Doomfist manages to get a punch in. And in this case, it's going to do a lot of damage because Doomfist actually does extra damage when the enemy bounces against the wall. So this is where it's rough. Celis takes an immense amount of damage and almost dies here. But this opens up the map to this opens up the point for them to engage, and they land a good charge, and I think Jamster dies as well. So at this point, with Celis low and Jamster dead, the point's lost, and that's not a very good Mei wall. But I guess that's a desperation because he was probably landing it where he got charged. Basically, what I felt what could have gone better is that the team could hug around the hotel lobby here, because this is Elderworth Hotel. So hug around here, wait for them to show up, and try to initiate with a Mei wall. So how you want to initiate is you want to bait the enemy team to come in. Once you see their main tank or whoever is in front, try to Mei wall them off and then engage with your Rhine Zarya as well as the Ana can throw in an anti-nade, Zen can discord them, and the soldier will probably just try to probably play around this high ground here or this high ground here and spam damage and helix rockets into the enemy that's isolated below. So in a Doomfist comp, Doomfist wants to always initiate first to try and find a pick. Once they get a pick, they more or less win the fight. Okay, so let's speed this up. Objective lost. Stop the payload. Okay. So in this case, for this particular map, because I reviewed this map for San Francisco Shock against Toronto Defiant, one of the places that a defending team actually wants to fight is around here. This is a key spot for a defending team to get the first fight. So for hybrid maps, this is considered hybrid, right? For hybrid maps, especially when there's a payload that's pushing, the defending team wants to fight as often as possible to try and burn as much time as possible. So this is the first good spot here because you get cover from the line of sight from the enemy team. You can hide around here to charge shield, and anybody that's going beyond this, you can charge them down, or you can just choose your engagements. If you force the enemy to turn into you, basically you guys can use a main wall, isolate them, and fight them here. So that's the first point of defense. So seems like this particular team knows this. This is why their Ryan Zarya and Doomfist are pushing forward to try and deny you guys all this space. Because if you're playing in ranked, especially for the tank players, if you're playing in ranked and you're staying here to wait for a payload to push, a good defending team will generally try to set up here to force you guys to fight at this point. So you want to take as much space as possible for the team that's attacking, to take probably, yep, take up to here, because your Ana and your healers has a line of sight to heal from here, and you want to fight beyond this point, avoid enemy fire, take this cover and fight here. So which is exactly what the red team is doing. So they're doing this really well. So it forces your team to hold here. Really close, so almost close to getting their Rhine. But basically, you guys were really missing a Mei wall. In order for this comp to work, that means with Mei in the team, the way to do this would probably be like to have a Reaper, I guess. Because once you have a Mei, actually a soldier for high ground is fine. Because at this point it was quite hard for Drew to actually switch off. But the winning condition is that you have to wall off someone. So without landing a good wall, it's very difficult to pick off the team, because the Ana gets line of sight to kill and to nade. So the only way to stop this would be having a good Mei wall to isolate the Rhine, so that you guys can hear him. Okay, good right click there from Jamster. Nice shatter. Move forward, take the fight. That's a defensive wall. Ooh, Celis was so low. Okay. Is this the Doomfist? Yeah, so the Doomfist got him. Okay. Basically, I was thinking, should Celis not have charged there? Okay, let's look at it from his perspective. Okay, I mean, let's look at it from this perspective. This was pretty close. Basically, charging only does 300 damage. Yeah, charging does 300 damage. Probably wouldn't have killed the Zara anyway, even if you had not charged. But even if you did not charge, you will probably still get punched by the Doomfist. The only thing that can save you here is if you're being punched, if you're not charging into this corner, because the problem is that being charged into this corner, and I think you were getting isolated against the Mei wall. The bounce from the Doomfist against the Mei wall, or bouncing the enemy against this wall, gives extra damage. So you probably kill Celis anyway. But if Celis didn't charge, like just walk forward and try to do damage here, he would have gotten punched, but probably you just went here. So he wouldn't suffer the wall rebound damage. Probably still survive. Yep, so he charged, and the Doomfist... Oh, it wasn't a punch. Okay, it was uppercut. Alright, so it wasn't a punch that killed him, it was uppercut. Uppercut, and I think Zara left click. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't like the fact that Celis charged there. It's because charging wouldn't guarantee a kill since it's on a Zarya. And at the same time, charging just puts him in a bad position, I guess, far too forward. So with the main tank down and the Doomfist hitting the back line, this fight is lost again, and the attacking team wins this point for free. And I wouldn't say for free, but they win this point. So once you win this point, first round of defense is down. Generally on this map, the second point you want to defend would usually be around this corner, if possible. This is the second point of defense. And the third point of defense would obviously be here. And the fourth point of defense will obviously be here. So in King's Row, every corner, that means every corner which you can hide, is considered a point of defense. So they are going to push through at least 1 point, 2 point. They're going to push through 3 points of defense with that fight win there. So pretty costly fight. So I remember Drew was asking whether is there any way that we could dive the Ana. But if you look at it, the Ana has always been playing very far back, so it's pretty hard to dive the Ana. The only way you can dive the Ana will probably if you guys totally switch to a dive comp like Winston Diva, Tracer, Doomfist, and the supports have to switch too. to probably like Anna and a Lucio to fully commit on diving the Anna. But as I mentioned, it's pretty risky for an organized team because once you dive the Anna, you guys expend a lot of resources, and if you're isolated, the death wall team can come back and frag you guys. So other than that, other ways to do it would be you can pick dual hero, something like a Tracer, or if you're playing a Reaper, you have to like teleport to the back line to try and fight a 1v1 against the Ana. So it's probably still difficult to kill the Ana 1v1, especially in an organized team, because the Lucio can come back and provide boops and heal her. The Doomfist can easily come back and peel for her. And if you get caught by the Mei, you're dead as well. So, like I mentioned, not an easy feat to catch the Ana. The easier thing would probably to pick a McCree and try to catch the Doomfist off guard. So, in this particular game, they are pocketing the Doomfist pretty hard. They do not have a brick. If they had a brick, they can even give the Doomfist armor pack. And obviously, the Zara is reserving bubbles whenever the Doomfist is punching. So, it wouldn't be as easy to kill the Doomfist here. But if ever the Doomfist is caught without bubble, with a good McCree stun and a good brick shield bash, that might be chances to try and get a kill off the Doom. Okay, so you guys wanted to fight this point. So good Mei War here. Oh, nice shatter from the enemy Ryan there. But I think he still dies because the Mei War here is really good. Okay, I think Celis was trying to contest the point. So he went forward, leaving his backline to die. Yeah, he and Miko was trying to contest the point. But then again, the point is still pretty far. So with the Mei War up, like in hindsight, it seems better to just focus down the Rhine first before going in to fight the rest of the enemy on the point. Yeah, but I mean in that particular moment, I guess it's pretty hard to see, and probably the front line wasn't even aware that the back line was shattered. The Rhine dies anyway, but the front line gets isolated with this Mei Wall. Yeah, decent Mei Wall. And Celis probably dies here. Yeah, so Celis dies here. And Miko just had to delay the point. Okay, so maybe let's take a look and see how that could have gone better. Okay, so Ana was in the back line. Okay, so in this case, Ana would have to reposition here to try and get sidelines so that you can heal a team while they're engaging and try to land some nades as well, either on your own teammates or on the enemy team. Okay, so the wall was pretty decent. I think the wall was pretty good. Yeah, but the enemy line landed the shatter. So looking at this particular point, it probably would have been better for both the tanks to focus down the Rhine first, because the Rhine was pretty low. But maybe there was a call to contest the point, I'm not too sure. But in hindsight, focusing the Rhine was a better idea. So if the Rhine was dead, would you guys have won the point? It's pretty hard to say because with the Rhine charging here, unless you guys could frag him mid-charge, which, whoa, he was really close. So if you guys had fragged him before he could charge or in mid-charge, Silence would have survived. And with a 6v5, you guys could maybe have won this fight. Maybe. Yeah, but at here, the moment is quite hard to call. It's really hard to call. Okay, so this fight gone. Okay, in general, if you guys manage to defend this, some points of defense would be here, hiding in this point, or hiding around the corner. So these are points of defense. You can hide around here to fight. You guys could have hid around here to fight. That is if you guys had won this fight and managed to stagger the enemy. Otherwise, this is a good place to hide as well. So hide and fight around the corners. Okay, so we're now setting up for next fight. She probably has to get a healing pack. So for Anna's, you can obviously go to the healing pack to get a heal yourself. If you don't want to waste a nade on yourself, I understand. Or probably Silence here could have gave her some armor packs. So Rocket could have asked for heal, and Silence could have turned back to heal to armor pack her to boost her up so that she can just heal herself to full with another health pack. So since you guys have lost this corner, the next corner to defend from will be from here, which you guys are holding. Okay, so at this point, let's look at our economy. We have Blizzard, we have Nano, we have Visor. Like I mentioned, Visor probably wouldn't be able to kill anyone. He has to make a big flank like from here. Maybe kill off the Ana, and the Ana could easily dive and nade herself. So Visor probably wouldn't have gotten much done. Blizzard and Nano will be good outs, so you can if you can manage to land Blizzard on most of the team. So what you can do is the Mei can try to wall off their retreat here, set up a wall right here, throw a Blizzard onto the payload here, and since they can't run away, I mean they could run forward, so your smart enemy team will run forward and engage you guys. But if the enemy panic, they will try and run back, get blocked by the wall, and get caught by Blizzard. So at that point, you can nano your Rhine. Rhine can go in and just do more damage. So I can't remember what happened. The wall, yeah, could have been better. But so I think we try to throw a Blizzard here. Ew. Oof. Ryan gets melted. Ouch. So that's the power of a Doomfist. The Doomfist I think came from this way? Yeah, I mean, Celis died so fast that there wasn't even time for you to throw a nano at him. Where was Doomfist? Doomfist was here. He landed a seismic slam and uppercut, and Celis was dead. Ouch. Ouch. So with the main tank dead as well, another fight lost. Yeah, so at this point, it's stagger time while the enemy tries to stagger you guys. Celis got a little bit too eager. Yeah. And the Doom did well. Picked the 1v1 with Drew. I think he gets Drew here. Yeah, they even get... Oh, he misses. Oh, I thought Doom would have won that much way earlier because they had beat there. So they threw... So Miko threw Graph to touch the point. Or Blizzard was thrown by... Jamster? Wait, where did the Blizzard go? Oh. Okay, so Blizzard was thrown in. Oh, they used beat to combat Blizzard. Okay. And they had a defensive Mei wall as well. I see. Yeah, this Mei wall... Oh. Okay, I guess this Mei wall was what you want to do if you want to prevent the enemy from retreating. But the beat basically counted it out because there was 1v1 against Drew, so Drew couldn't use his visor for damage. And nobody was alive here to do most of the damage. I think Miko, it's, yeah, there. Yep. Yeah, so the graph was thrown, but it was a delay graph. Yeah. Yep. So numbers were against you guys, so pretty hard. In general, is it possible to win any of those fights? Maybe the only point whereby... Like, the only way that those fights would have been won would probably be to frag the Doomfist. There has to be a way to kill it. I mean, you guys have to find a way to frag the Doomfist, which I believe McCree would probably be the answer. Other than that, Diana has to land an amazing sleep dart to sleep the Doomfist. Right. That is a skill-based thing. Other than that, other forms of stun will be Shield Bash, I guess. Shield Bash. Braid has to land a Shoe Bash, and that's pretty much it. For the tank players, not realistic for you to try and get an answer on the Doomfist, because the tanks basically don't have much CC outs. Unless you tell me you're Winston and you can try and chase the Doomfist down. But even a Winston wouldn't really necessarily win the fight, because Doomfist just has a lot of escape opportunities if he's not controlled by either like stuns or sleeps or slows or CC. If a Doom isn't controlled by a CC spell, it's basically quite hard to stop him there. Okay, so we go on the attack. Okay. I think we called for rotation to... I forgot. Rotation here, or are we going to hotel? I'm not too sure. Okay, rotation through the statue and speed M. I think we called for speed M, which is good. So, do we have a Mei here? No, we don't. Okay, so without a Mei, our win condition here would be actually to break the enemy shield. Because since you don't have a Mei to stop the retreating enemy, they can technically just use speed M and just back off from you guys and engage otherwise. But without a Mei, with high damage heroes and without a Mei, you guys can the win condition will probably just to be push them off the point and force them to engage into you guys, because by holding a defensive position and forcing them to engage with your high damage heroes, you guys actually have the advantage. Yep. Oh, so good thing managed to dodge the charge, and I think Celis tries to charge down the Mei. Nope, he manages to charge Lucio, but got bubbled. I think their Rhine dies in the back line. No? Ooh, so close. Okay, their Rhine dies. And once their Rhine is dead, you guys should... we should be winning this fight, I guess. Oh, Celis so low? Okay. Okay. So... yeah, I was asking for Celis to be aggressive, but have to monitor his health a little bit there. Right. So that's the thing with being aggressive. You have to monitor your health to know when you need to shoot up. So it's something that will come with practice. Yep, like jumping forward with the shield, that's good. So doing bunny hops and shooting up as Ryan is actually a pretty good technique. So because you do not sacrifice the speed from holding your shield and walking forward, there's a speed sacrifice. So by jumping forward, you're still moving at your normal walking speed and then shooting up. So bunny hopping, jumping forward with shield is a pretty good Ryan technique. Okay, so once you have the advantage, push forward. Yep, get a kill off the Mei. And you guys win this point. Well, let's try and speed it up. Alright, I was saying that this is a good point to fight. So basically, tanks and the rest of the team should just move forward. Basically, you can just leave one person on payload. In this case, most of the time, probably the Lucio. The Lucio can just stay on payload, because since the Mercy is healing the team, Jamster can move forward to do damage. So you guys want to try and fight in this part of at this point, because you want to hold this angle here and try and spam down the enemy shields. Try to get them to force them to push away. If you can get a pick, that's great. If you can't get a pick, at least you try and push them away. And they're backing off. So, mission done, mission accomplished. Oh, he's going in for a charge. Oh, wow. That was unexpected. Yep, so wasted opportunity here. Nobody was pushing the payload. Basically, how this team push works is that the rest of the team pushes forward. One person stays on the payload, because you want to get the payload past this point. Basically, if the payload is stuck here, it gives the chance for enemy team to set up here, and this is a really difficult position to break as an attacking team. I think I need to get some water. Alright, so what else do we have? We have Tyre, we have Graph, and we have Mercy out. Yep, so you see, the Doomfist hugs this corner. And nope, okay. Yeah, he was charging out his fist with nowhere to use it. But basically, he didn't want to go straight in because he knows that he will die. So basically, if the defending team holds this corner, it's really strong. So they didn't really understand this. They were out in the open. So this is why Miko's beam could get value and try and and the graph could land. Because if they were hiding here, you wouldn't know where exactly they are. You have to come through the corner, and that gives a chance for Doomfist to punch. So good defensive wall, and they use a beat as well. So overreaction from them. The beat was kind of wasted. Yep, the Doomfist, exactly. Doomfist, I think, was at high ground somewhere or maybe around the stairs here. So good play from their Doomfist there. And meanwhile, as Doomfist goes in to do a seismic slam, the front line is divided. And does anyone die? Nope. So a charge that fails. Could you guys get him? So if you're a Lucio player here, you could just go behind the Rhine, boop the Rhine forward, and kind of like guarantee the kill because you're pushing the Rhine further out of position into your own team so that he gets like isolated, he doesn't know where to turn, and probably you can get a guarantee kill off the Rhine. And instead you booped him back. That's bad. You booped him back into his own team, into heals and into bubbles. So basically at that single point in time, as a Lucio player, you want to like, I mean, the play you could do is try to boot the Rhine further into your own team so that you guys could try and get the kill there. Because you guys didn't have the Mei. His Rhine is low. Nice shatter because his Rhine out of position. So nice shatter from Celis there. It's good hammer swings, no charging, that's good. So by not charging, you're not putting yourself out of position and you manage to survive through the heals. Manage to survive with your team heals. And I think this fight is a fight win. Okay, so Doomfist sets up on high ground. Pretty common. So nothing you guys could do about the Doomfist. The only way is Jamster and Drew has to teleport up there to try and fight the Doomfist like a 2v1 or 1v1 to try and force him off the high ground. Probably wouldn't be able to kill him, but at least force him off the high ground. Because yep, nice concussion bomb there. Interrupted his tempo because he was gonna land and get a punch on someone. Okay. So in this point, I mentioned that it's actually good for the defending team to fight around this corner. Same thing for the attacking team. If your shield is really low and you need to regroup, you can regroup around this corner to charge shield before going in. So basically, this open pathway here, it's the tough part about this last point of point B. Whoever has to traverse through this open pathway and getting shot by the enemy team basically is at a disadvantage. So other than that, if you guys can, because this angle isn't really that great. I mean, maybe this angle, I think you can. Yeah, not a lot of players could be here, and you're still pretty exposed. So the only thing I can see about this fight is if you can be decisive and just push in, go all in, and just try to push the enemy team. If you can get a pick off it, that would be great. But our team is mostly close range damage, so I think we just want to like put pressure on the front line, force them to back off, and try and win space there. Oh, we have a red tire. Okay. Okay. So Celis pretty low here. Would have wanted him to put up his shield, protect himself. Yep, nice counter charge there. I think it was a good counter charge. He realized that he was being charged and he pressed shift to protect himself against the incoming Rhine. Oof. So even though he landed a good shatter, I think They were pretty out of position because where did we manage to get their Zarya earlier? I think so. Somebody's respawning. Yeah, so we managed to pick two, I think with the Riptire earlier. So even though they had to use Nano and had to use Shatter, they will still lose this fight. Oh, they even threw in Blizzard as well. So they threw in 3 outs. And they still lost the fight. Yeah, so that is pretty ouch for their team. They threw in 3 outs and still lose the fight. Okay. So at this point, as the attacking team, okay, you guys were waiting for... Is that? Okay, you guys were waiting for Drew to respawn. So you guys didn't want to take a 5v6, I guess. Yeah, basically pushing the payload past this point. Yep, they're defending around this corner as well. So enemy team throws in a Graph, and our win condition will be Graph and Blossom as well. So you guys were waiting for Drew to come back. Nice beat, nice beat. Managed to save Celis there. And Drew is back. So now the problem is with landing the Graph. Enemy team is pretty split up. Good pick on the Doomfist there. And with the Graph if the Graph had landed here on 3, I think it would still be good value. Celis dies, Graph lands, Blossom lands. Oh, okay, a little bit of overaction. Okay, so yeah, the Riptire. I think we did talk about this during the fight. The Riptire was a bit of an overreaction there. Okay, so I think Drew called for the team to push forward, which is true. In this case, because standing on the payload achieves nothing. All you need is just one person on the payload, probably Silence or Rocker can be on the payload. Even, okay, Jamster would probably not be on the payload. He wants to spam damage from that point. So the rest of the team and the tanks could have pushed forward to try and secure here. You want the defending team to waste as much time as possible before getting to the payload. This is why you want to push ahead and try and take fights at the enemy choke. Yeah, so Celis are being, like I mentioned, they're being a bit too passive there. Standing on the payload doesn't really create, I mean, what you're going to achieve, you just push the payload faster, but I mean, it doesn't push that much faster. Basically, trying to prevent the enemy team from reaching your payload would probably be the higher value play there. Nice counter charge again. Okay, they used Beat. We used Mercy out, but Celis, you were anti-naded. Yeah, at that point, yeah, bringing up your shield wouldn't have really saved you as well because the Rhine was in melee range. The only thing that could save you is probably Bubble, but I didn't know whether Miko had it at the time. Okay, so Doomfist went to McCree. What? Rocker got booped by the Rhine? Yeah, but anyway, the fight is lost. Yep. Like Miko mentioned, the rest wouldn't have done much. It's just giving the team more outcharge, I guess. So because rezzing at that point is still a lost fight. Okay, so I remember Jamster. Yep, big sneaky here. So the high grounder is pretty good position. So Jamster wasn't picked the whole game. He was staying safe, and none of the enemy team could reach him. So notice that when the defending team, they set up at this choke. Yep. So as the defending team, you want the attacking team to waste as much time as possible. So this is why they're setting up at this corner here to try and fight you guys. But somehow they're at a numbers disadvantage because having Arsenal is a little bit too far back. If I was Arsenal, I'd probably want to take the line of sight here to heal the team and lose. No point standing on the point as Lucio there. I mean, even if they even if they did know that Jamster was hiding somewhere in the high ground, as long as once Jamster touched the point, you can see it on the payload indicator at the top. So the Lucio can simply wall right back and boop Jamster off the point or maybe into the pit if he's lucky with that. Okay, so good aggression here. Yep, just push forward. So you see that they were down in numbers. Just push forward and try to take advantage. Okay, good shatter from the Rhine there. Is there any way we could have stopped that shatter? The only way could be out tracking. So this is where out tracking comes in. If we were aware that the enemy Rhine actually was holding on to shatter due to how much damage and he was doing in the previous fights, we could have been either a little bit more careful, or we could have tried to bait him to shatter. One thing that I'm not 100% sure, but probably as a Reinhardt player could try, is that you want to do a swing and cancel it into a shield. So swing, cancel into shield, swing, cancel into shield. Basically, you're trying to bait the enemy Rhine into using a shatter into your own shield. So because I mean, it's I wouldn't. There's just a small technique, but it's not 100% guaranteed to work. Like for example, if I'm the Reinhardt player, usually I just wouldn't go for this mechanic shenanigans. I wouldn't want to shatter in front of an enemy Rhine. I want to go through the enemy Rhine and shatter his backline. So I usually move forward beyond the enemy Rhine and just shatter his whole backline, rather than taking the risk of playing that mind games there. And losing the mind games would be wasting a shatter. So I got a bit sidetracked. So the only way to stop that would, I mentioned, be out tracking, trying to predict when the enemy Rhine has his shatter, so that we can maybe like play a little bit more baity to try and bait out his earth shatter that we could have maybe blocked it, but without knowing whether he has shatter or not is quite difficult. Okay, so they land a graph. We only have Riptire. We have Shatter as well. But Seller is going to get charged here. Wait, the graph actually saved? No. Oh, I thought it saved Celis. It would have saved him if the Deadeye hadn't landed. Okay, so our win condition here would be Riptire and to land our Shatter. Like I mentioned, landing the Shatter here would... well, since we have a Lucio here, one strategy would be Lucio speed amp, but you have to plan this play out beforehand. Like, you want to shatter beyond the Reinhardt shield. So speed amp, run through the enemy Rhine and shatter here, for example. So you have to be rather close. So let's say you're moving forward as the Rhine player. Once you're moving here, you can call for speed amp, and the Lucio speeds up, you run through the enemy Rhine and you try and shatter their backline. So meanwhile, while you're doing that play, Jamster could probably use his Riptire. And once they're shattered, Jamster can probably land a multi-kill. Okay, so you're pretty lucky here because I think Celis was waiting for the fact that the Rhine was jumping. So once the Rhine jumped high enough, you landed the shatter. Let's take a look. Pretty good play there. Okay, let's look at... And? Let's take a look. Okay, so you were watching for the Rhine to jump. Yeah, right. You were timing it for when the Rhine jumped. But the Rhine shield was down. Like, it was down, right? Oh, he went even higher. Because somehow the Rhine climbed onto the payload. And the shatter landed. Like, is that lucky? I mean, you were aiming for him to jump. Ugh. Nice block, nice block. Nice block there. I think you saw that he was nanoed, and somehow you were preparing to block this shatter. Nice block. Ugh. Oh, I mean, he's smart there. Even though you blocked shatter, he saw a golden opportunity to charge in. Only way it could have saved you would probably have been either a boop or another bubble. Oh, rough. Oh, Gemster kills 2 with... Wait, is this our graph? Oh, this is our graph. So Gemster kills 2 in the graph. The fight is... It's 4v4, right? Yeah, it's 4v4. But you guys caught the back off? Wait. Silence was disconnected, I think. Yeah. Oh, and Miko just dies. Okay. Yep. Okay, now they know Jamster is up there. And... oh, they have Ashe this time. And they have Lucio. Alright. Now win conditions are only Blossom, which he has to come to high ground, and a simple what do you call it, that shotgun blast from Ashe would have pushed you down. Probably have to use beat as an offensive out here, because you guys probably have to beat and speed M and try to run into the enemy to get a fight win there. Oh, nice fade, nice fade. I thought you were being pushed off. Yep. So good pressure on their enemy, on the enemy Zarya there. Yep, forcing him to charge, and I think you did a counter charge. Yep. So by being aggressive, you forced him to back off and managed to win this amount of space. Their graph landed, and we have Blossom, and we have Beat. You're right. So Rocket landed the Beat, and Drew went into the back line. Did he get... Yep, managed to land a good Blossom there. Okay. So again, you want to push the enemy choke, so this time we're being more aggressive. Pushing up. Okay, we have Riptire, we used it. The decent Riptire target will be here. So you have an Ashe, you have an Ana, and if you could path the Riptire through, like you could climb the Riptire up this wall here, out of their line of sight, go through from here, drop down, and into their back line here. Oh, so managed to get Ana, but didn't get the Ashe though. Okay, the Ashe actually went away there. Okay, good trap. Good trap on the ball. Managed to kill the ball there. Right. In this in this particular example where Bob is right beside the payload, the one way you guys can have cover is use the payload as a cover. So just fight. Just all of you guys could crowd around here to get cover from the Bob. At the same time, if anybody wants to engage you here, just try and boop them into the pit on the right. Obviously, there's the danger factor of being booped by the enemy Lucio into the pit as well. So yeah, something along around these lines. It's pretty difficult, but yeah, it's kind of 50-50. Here is almost into the pit. So if you can boop you guys, you boop you guys into the wall here. Yeah, it's around here, I guess. Pretty difficult. Pretty difficult call to make. Then you guys try to frag down the Bob, which is good. So Bob dies. Okay, their Ryan is charging 2 points. They have beat. Oh, they switched a Tracer to try and get the backline. Oof. Decent pulse bomb there. But Jamson manages to get their Tracer. They have Nano again. They have Ball. Earth. Hmm. In general, what could we have done to win? I honestly don't know. Because I feel like we did the best that we could at that point in time. I just don't see a win condition. Because at that point, their out advantage was so huge that it seems like no matter what we did, we probably would have lost that. Like, I honestly don't know how we could have won that. Because our disadvantage was just way too big. The only way is maybe we can look at how they generated out so fast. Like, let's take a look at it from a faster perspective here. Okay, let's look at their out generation. So they managed to get Shatter, Pulse Bomb. So Pulse Bomb was used. They still have Beat. Okay. So the hammer was delaying and the Ash gets Bob mid-fight. So they use Bob, Ash dies. They still have Beat. And they're coming out on another Nano. So Beat was used. Another Pulse Bomb generated. Nano was used. And they have Shatter again. Yeah. So this is why I feel like being a more aggressive Ryan is generally better. Like, I feel more comfortable being the aggressive Ryan because the aggressive Ryan, even though sometimes he feeds, he does so much damage that he gets Shatter more often than the passive Ryan. So in this case, even the ball almost gets mines here. So the number of outs they generate just from fighting, like the damage that they do, the amount of healing that Anna does, and the amount of damage done by their Tracer is just so much that their out generation is way beyond what we can do. So in general, we probably got mechanically outclassed. Yeah, their DPSs definitely played, I mean, pretty good. So the amount of DPS they were doing, their outcharge was pretty quick. And even though their Ryan player fed sometimes with his charges, by being so aggressive, he was getting hammers quite often. So, and then with the hammers, with the shatters that he landed, they were able to make some kind of plays there. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Let's stop this for a while.